Hi everybody, I'm Barbara Horn, and my Stampin' Up! Group is called Amaryllis and Rose Stampers. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been since the year 2012. One of the reasons that I just absolutely adore Stampin' Up! Is because there are just so many beautiful things about this company. There's constant offers for free product, coupons, and it has just made my personal passion for card making and paper crafts just so easy. And the thing I love the most, which I'm really going to show you a lot about tonight in our first workshop, which is called the Basics of Stamping. I'm going to talk to you a lot about the coordinating and bringing colors together and making some beautiful, beautiful cards. I'm going to start with the most basic level, the very beginning level. I've had so many people say, yeah, I've been looking at the product, I've been looking through the catalog, but I don't have a clue what to do with all the things that I'm seeing. So what I'm going to do tonight and in the following 4 or 5 workshops that I have for beginning stampers is I'm going to take you step by step. And if you will watch each of these videos, hopefully in sequence, by the time you get to the 6th workshop, you're going to be an absolute pro at this. I've said in my other videos that a lot of times people feel like, well, I'm just not a really creative person. I just don't have that inside of me, but I really would love to send people things that I make for myself rather than just the Hallmark snatch it up at the grocery store type card, something that's really meaningful for other people. And that's part of my job, is to show you how to do that, take the mystery out of it, and infuse it with a dynamic excitement and a dazzle that you will absolutely love. One thing I can guarantee, without a shadow of a doubt, anytime you do give somebody a homemade card, they will absolutely gush and be so excited about getting that card. My son, I've been giving him homemade cards now for, well, I don't know, 8 years for all occasions. And he told me not too long ago, Mom, I keep a scrapbook. And I put every card that you make for me or my wife or my children, I put that in a scrapbook because that's just all you and your touch, which I really appreciate. And so that was kind of an excitement to me and kind of a little bit of a reward for some of the effort that I put into making some of these cards. We have 3 levels of cards, and the first 2 workshops, I'm going to just keep you at a very, very basic level. Then the next 2 workshops, I am going to take you to help you to kind of step it up a little bit so that you can feel like you are beginning to show some real accomplishment with the cards that you make. They will start popping and people will go, oh, wow, how did you do that? And then the last 2, the second 2 are going to be for casual stampers, the first 2 kind of for the beginning. And if you've already done this a little bit, pardon me for repeating some things that you probably already know. Casual and hobby stampers will be the second 2, which will bring you up to some of the really nice things that can make that card a little bit extra special. Then if you hang in with me all the way through, workshops 5 and 6 will be that real special techniques and folds that will begin to introduce you to being an avid stamper. And that's that time when people go, whoa, how did you do that? So hang with me. A couple of quick announcements. If you are interested, after you see this video tonight, I'm going to leave some information at the bottom of the video with all of the products that I used and the pages that you'll be able to find them on in the catalog. If anybody needs a catalog, just text me with your address. I'll send you both the annual catalog and also our mini catalog that has all of our holiday stamps in it, which will be you will be able to order from 1st of August. But here's the annual catalog here. And as you can see, I've got lots of bookmarks. I got dog ears. I've bound it in the back because I use it so much. But this will also be our textbook, sort of, for the next 6 weeks. I'll be referring to pages in here a lot. So you can jot them down now, and then when you do get your catalog, go through there and take a look at some of these things that I do have to show you. If you would like to email me your order, I'm at amaryllisandrosestampers@gmail.com. Down at the bottom, you will see the July hostess code. Anybody who orders through the month of July will receive a special product from me. And also, if you order $30 or more, I will be sending you a Stamp-A-Stack of 15 cards, five designs and 2 of each. And if you have just the minimum stuff that we talk about tonight, you will be able to easily put those together. With the orders this month, I will choose one person out of everybody who orders to receive that special product gift. And we'll mail it to you right after the end of the month. So just stay tuned. Let me reiterate that again. If you need to place an order, just email me, and I'll have that email at the bottom as well. If you place an order of $30 or more, I will send you a Stamp-A-Stack of 15 cards. If you do place an order anytime during the month of July under that hostess code, you will be entered into a drawing for a free product from me as a gift. And then finally, for every $50 you order from Stampin' Up, you will receive a special coupon for $5 redeemable through the month of August, which is perfect timing because that's when our holiday catalog goes live. And you'll be able to order some special products out of there. If you put in an order this month and qualify for the drawing and for the special gifts, you can get your tools and everything ready so that next month when the holiday catalog goes live, you'll be ready to start looking at some stuff to make your own homemade personal Christmas cards this year. It's been my experience that if I wait until late November or December to start on those, I may not get them done. But if I start in September or October, coming up with a design and making sure I've got all of the supplies that I need, I can do it a little bit at a time while I'm watching TV, and then by the 1st of December, I have everything ready to go and ready to send. I will be having special workshops from September until December where I show you how to make different ones of the cards that are being shown in the holiday catalog. And then you will have your own private lessons for making Christmas cards. Those are due to start right after the end of this 6-week beginner's workshop that we're doing now. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be an exciting time. The last thing I wanted to mention just in passing is if you, in watching the videos, or if you've been thinking about joining our team, my team specifically, the Amaryllis and Rose Stampers, there's actually 2 reasons why people decide to become demonstrators or join the team. One of them is they want to make money, and the other one is they want to save money. I actually started for both those reasons. The make money part is if you decide that you do want to start selling some of the product, it's not very, very difficult to start making money and earning benefits and incentives through the company. And those are always really nice. And the save money is that all of your product is discounted. You get them for special prices. And sometimes you can participate in contests and stuff where you receive some really nice gifts. So either way, if you're interested in that, email me and we can sit down and talk a little bit more about that. Along with your catalog, we have come out with a beginner's handbook. I have forgotten to bring it to the camera tonight, but on the second workshop, I will have it available to show you. But I will stick that in the mail to you along with your catalog. It's a special thing that Stampin' Up! Has provided for people who are just starting out with their Stampin' Up! And it gives a lot of great ideas and a lot of good information, and it also gives you quite a few little project ideas and lists of supplies that you can order. It's right there in front of you with the catalog number right next to it, so that would be something that would be really nice to get as well. So let me know about that. Anybody who orders a catalog, I will go ahead and include that brochure in with the catalog, and I will also be including in with the mailing the holiday catalog as well. Before I start with you on the very, very basics of stamping and paper crafts, I do wanted to show you, this is a paper pumpkin. These sweet little boxes come to us every single month from Stampin' Up! And inside these boxes are really nice kits that are complete with everything you need to make 10 to 15 cards. And this theme of this box for this month of June was Box of Sunshine. And the company was trying to encourage us to think of some ways that we could put little treat bags and gifts together and just sort of kind of hand them out to people as a way of saying, you know, hang in there. I know life has been really difficult lately with the quarantine and all of that, but just hang in there and it's gonna pass. We put lemon drops and that kind of thing. We tried to match the yellow theme. So it was a really, really fun idea, which I'm planning to continue. But when you open your paper pumpkin box, you will always get an ink. You will always get a set of stamps, the acrylic, which you will be able to keep and reuse over and over again. And these are some wonderful stamps, very unique, one-of-a-kind stamps. Stampin' Up! Designs all their own stamps, so what they send to us are parts of their product design, and sometimes demonstrators will send in cool design ideas as well. The other part of what you get is the actual kit itself, and as you can see from the back, there's sequins. There are probably a lot of times there's the decorative string. There's the several layers. They make the pop-out machine designed parts of it. The cardstock in the back, and all you do is you open this up, and then using your ink and your stamps and your a stamp block, which you will receive with your first order from Paper Pumpkin, that looks just about like this. So every stamp block, every stamp you get through Paper Pumpkin will fit on this block. This is a really nice kind of medium-sized block, and this is probably the one I use the most of. And it's going to be an essential part of your stamping is your blocks. And on page 163 of the annual catalog, it shows you a variety of block sizes that you can get, from very, very small all the way up to the very, very large. Down here is a carrying case. A real easy way to get all of your blocks is to host a card workshop or gathering, and then with all of the hostess code and orders that you receive under your own personal hostess code, you start accumulating dollars that you can spend on extra stuff. And if you've got a high enough gathering party with high enough sales, then you will be able to have enough money to where you could actually buy your whole set of blocks. I own all of them, and there's times when I've just had to use every single one of them. So yeah, Paper Pumpkin with your ink and your stamp, and then with your very first order of Paper Pumpkin, they will include this acrylic block, which is one of the 7 or 8 that Stampin' Up! Uses. Okay, So we talked about the stamping block. You have to think for a minute, and I'm going to pause and let you think about this for a minute. What are your favorite things? What are your favorite things? The cool thing about Stampin' Up! Is whatever you like, whatever is your favorite, they have at least one stamp that will kind of fit in with your favorite things. Here's a mallard duck and a little chipmunk and some grapes. So if you kind of like the wildlife and out of doors, that's Queen Anne's lace. That's a stamp set that's got Queen Anne's lace in it. And right here is our little hedgehog. He's a cutie and turns out really cute when you stamp him. I think I shared a couple of weeks ago that my favorite things are the florals, all the flowers. I wish I owned every flower that they've got in here. For example, this one, I absolutely adore this. It is almost big enough to cover the entire front of one of your cards. And also the landscapes. For example, if I can find it quick enough here, I didn't have it marked, but we have seascapes, we have mountainscapes, we have cottages on the side of a hill. This is a one here that is kind of, you build it. You use a combination of those stamps to build kind of a hillside with some of the winter trees. And as you can see down towards the bottom, there's actually a little cabin there that has smoke coming out of it and with a snowman. And that just makes such a beautiful card when you can put the landscapes together like that. The landscapes are now being designed so that you stamp on top of stamp on top of stamp to create the effect of distance and hills and stuff like that. So that's the first 2/3 of the book. Is you're just going to think about what you love, and you're going to just buy the stamps that mean something to you. Not random stuff, but literally stamps that really mean something to you. Something of you that you can put in the mail and share with somebody else. Another thing that I like to keep on hand, they have quite a few stamp sets that are the sentiments, that you can use these inside your card because you're always going to stamp inside your card, or you can use them on the front of your card. And they just add a lot to the beauty of the card and also of the message too. We'll be spending a lot of time with these sentiments as the weeks go by, because a lot of time it's all about the sentiments. So we talked about the stamps and the blocks are basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the stamp and adhere it to the block, and then you will use that little set to make your stamp impressions. Another thing that's part of the very, very basic must-have are the scissors. We have a very nice set of what we call snips. They have a nice little pointy edge, which helps us sometimes in lifting small sequins and things off of with the adhesive to put on our cards. So the point is very, very important to us. And a lot of times before you really start your collection, scissors are going to be your basic means for sizing your cards the way you want. Another thing that you really do need to have, which is considered the very, very basics of card working, are adhesives. We have 3 adhesives, and all of them can be found in the catalog, and I'll put the numbers to each of them down at the bottom when we're done. The first kind of adhesive is our Stampin' Seal. We have both a Stampin' Seal and a Stampin' Seal Plus. And these are designed to put down on the card and then just drag. And as you drag, it leaves a really nice strip of sticky where you can put put layers together. I'll be demonstrating this tonight to show it to you. The second kind of adhesive are our mini glue dots. And what these are rolls that look just like this. And on the roll are these tiny little dots of glue They're very, very sticky. Sometimes when we're trying to get ribbon to stay in one place on top of the card, we'll sneak a little glue dot underneath so that it doesn't keep moving back and forth. There's a billion reasons and needs for the glue dots, and so it's a must-have, especially when you're trying to construct small pieces on your card. And then finally, everybody's favorite, these are the Stampin' Dimensionals. Stampin' Dimensionals. I showed the use of these a little while ago on one of my second little demos, but they're hexagonal, and they're sticky on both sides, and they're just the tiniest little piece of sponge. So when you adhere it to certain things on your card, it will actually raise that image slightly up off the card and give your card a very three-dimensional look. And it can be just very, very lovely. I really do like to raise flowers and leaves off the card, because once you start giving them a little bit of dimension, you really start thinking that they're looking realistic. So I've got a beautiful peony set that I ordered recently, and I'm going to be showing you how you can really make a card, a flower, three-dimensional, but that will probably be during the month of August that I'll be able to get to that. Okay, so we've covered the stamps, we've covered the adhesives, we've covered the scissors. Let's get down to the basics now. On pages 142 and 143, I actually have this tabbed, because what this is the complete collection of all the Stampin' Up! Colors that you can choose from. They have their family. There are 4 families of 10. The top one is the family of the bright colors, and then the next one is the neutrals, and then the regals are down here. And then up here are the subtles, and down here are the basic colors, just the basic. There's black, white, vanilla, bronze, and ivory colors in there, just basic colors. So whenever you're ready to get started, you're basically going to do several things. You're going to decide what you want to make with your stamp sets. Then you might want to take a look at the designer series paper. That's usually what I do next, and those are on pages 148 and 49. And these are packs of beautiful artistic works. Stampin' Up! Has their own artists there on staff who design this paper. And in each pack you get four designs, of 4 sheets of 6 designs, and then you flip them over, and then you have designs on the back as well that you can choose from. So you get quite a bit of bang for your buck with your designer series paper. I got the Posies paper, and because I just love the colors so much, they're basically poppies. So you look at the poppies, and you look at the look at your page inside your catalog that shows that your poppies designer series paper, which is this one up here. Then what you do is you look underneath, under the description, and it will tell you exactly what of the colors that you found on this page right here, which of these colors can you use to coordinate with the poppies paper. And it gives you, let's see, it says Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, which that's the color that I have here, the Calypso Coral, because I know that's going to go with my paper. Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, which is a nice yellow color. Apple green, etc., etc. So you don't have to guess, and you can look at the papers that you love the most and just look at the description, and then you can go ahead and purchase the coordinating cardstock that would go with that pack of paper, and you've got quite a nice little tight group of colors. So here's my poppies, Peaceful Poppies. It mentioned the Calypso Coral, and there's my paper that I bought to go with this cardstock. Look how beautiful that goes together. So I'm going to be using those together when I'm making the card. One thing you can do is there is a page that will take each of the color families that I just showed you, the brights, the subtles, all of those, and they will give you 2 sheets of each color in that pack. And that way you can have all of the colors from each color family until you decide what colors you like the best, and then you can go ahead and buy the full ream of the cardstock. But that's the way I will always do it. Is I will first of all buy the variety pack that has 2 of each of the 10 colors, so it's a pack of 20 altogether. I'll play and work with those, and then if I really find one that I feel particularly drawn to, I will go ahead and purchase the paper. This one I just loved, so in addition to the cardstock, I went on ahead and bought the ink pad that goes with the poppies color, and I bought the ribbon to go with it. And then I've got some embellishments, which I will show you, which have some of those colors in it as well, so that when you're done creating, you have in your own, you now own a complete packet where you could generate 20, 30, or even 40 cards using this combination of colors. But there's other colors in here too. There's the blue, looks like a very light blue. There's the greens. Any one of those cardstock items, like the old olive, which we'll be using today with this one, along with the Calypso. And any one of those colors will just blend very nicely in with your card. I showed you the embellishments, but I will be spending a lot more time with the embellishments in our next workshop session. So we've covered the ink, the ribbon, the cardstock, the DSP, the variety pack. I have gone through my list now. These are all, you can pick and choose. If you decide, you know what, I just want to start with the variety pack of the subtles or of the brights, then I'll just go ahead and buy the variety pack. And then what you would do on top of that then is get yourself a pack of the plain white cardstock. This is our Whisper White, so that you can layer, which we're going to do right now, using the designer series paper and a piece of the cardstock, and then the white paper. I am going to show you how to do a delightful layer and make a very, very simple card. Now, I will tell you ahead of time, I have not planned these cards out at all. So this is going to be creating on the fly for you. And I hope you enjoy, as I kind of muddle through this, enjoy the process of creating from scratch. So I'm going to turn the camera down so that you can see my work area. And I'm looking for my, yep, here it is, under everything. Right here is something that I really love. You can, of course, cut your cardstock using your scissors, but why? When you've got an actual cutting machine that works, Stampin' Up! Has their exclusive cutting machine. Now, I will tell you that this is an older one. They have some brand new ones that people are just absolutely raving about right now. So you will find those in the catalog as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the whole 8.5 by 11 piece of my Calypso Coral. And this is just, like I said, a regular size piece of paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it sideways. I'm going to stick it in my cutter and cut it right at 5.5, which is 11 divided by 2. When I do that, I have now 2 cards that I can potentially make out of this one piece of cardstock. So I'm going to set that aside. Now, one of the beauties about this cutter, which is very different than the others, is that it has a scoring tool as well. You have to be careful not to accidentally use the blade. So I move that totally out of the way. So I'm going to score this card right at the fold. So this is going to be at 4 1/4, which is half of the 8 1/2. So I'm going to score at 4 1/4, and it makes a nice little indentation there, so that when you're ready to fold your card, you just fold it just like that, right there on the fold, and it makes a nice sharp fold. And then with my bone folder, I'm going to burnish the fold side just to give it a really sharp, crisp look. And so that's the beginning of your card. Now you can use this card this way, or it will just open up to the inside. Or you can flip it and you can use it this way, where it opens up and down. It doesn't matter. You can choose anything you want. So with this Calypso Coral, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and rummage around here and grab up my Designer Series paper and pull out that beautiful poppy paper that I am so in love with. I know it's open. Look at all the colors that you get from this pack. Look at the splash of reds and greens that you get with this one. And then you can, if the purples and lavenders are something you like more, we have these green stripes. There's always a place for a green stripe. Then look at this, a field of poppies here. I love this one. And on the back is just a plain, very plain, but textured poppy color. Look at that. That's a very bold poppy. Those are very, very beautiful. And on the back of this, of the bold poppies, we have kind of that lavendery smudge look. People really sometimes love the beautiful polka dots look. And then this is kind of more into the pinks. And then also the smudge kind of blue look on this. And look at this one. There's 100 things that go through my mind right now as I'm looking at this color and imagining what I could do somehow to fold this down the middle and do something with that. It's just very nicely arranged. And finally, here is the dark green smudge. So that's what you get when you order a pack of the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to make use of my poppies. Now I have made, once you fold your card, and you might want to write this down because these are standardized measurements. When I fold this card, it now measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Because I've folded that 8 1/2 by 11 into two pieces. So now I have 5 1/4 by 4. So what I'm going to do, so that I can show a little bit of this color along the sides, I'm going to cut this 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card face is. So I said 5 1/2, so we'll take that down to 5 1/4. The other side was by 4, so we're going to take that down to 3 3/4. Remember, we're cutting a fourth of the inch off with each layer. So now I have my cardstock. Look how pretty that is. And I could go this way if I wanted to, but look how pretty that is. And so when I place it on top of my card, I have a nice little border around it. Isn't that pretty? All right, so let's get the last layer, and I'm going to use the last layer, and I think I'm going to do this card this way. So I'm going to use the last layer here. And I'm going to cut this by 3 1/2. see, 3.5, because I want a little bit more border there. 3.5 by 4.5. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. I may have to change my mind. Remember, I'm doing this on the fly tonight, guys, so you get to see me in my creative moment. So I said 3.5 by 4.5. All right, let's see what that does to the proportions of the face of my card. I have now made a 3-layer card. So what this is going to look like, it's going to be the designer series paper, and then is going to be my piece of white there in the middle. All right, so I think what I'm going to do with the piece of cardstock is I'm going to go ahead and stamp it with my image. And remember, this is just simple stamping tonight. And I'm not sure which one I want to use. I could use this one, and that would just about fit across there. You move it up a little bit. And then the sentiment that I think I want to use with that comes from the Peaceful Moments. And what shall I put? I could put a congratulations. So let's do this with the congratulations up here. How does that look? Okay, so I can just place the stamps sort of where I want them to go. And now I'm sitting here kind of second guessing myself. I'm wondering if I should do this one with the congratulations. No, I think I like the other one. So I'm going to go with the other one. And I'm going to put it diagonally across my block. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dip the top part into my Calypso Coral. And we'll see how this works. I've got my Mossy Meadow as my secondary color. And I've got all of these wonderful stems down here. Let's see what that looks like. This is always our practice papers right here. That went mostly green, didn't it? All right, let's just go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and do the whole block, the whole stamp with the Calypso Coral. And I might be able to, later on, I might use a pen to fill in. So I'm gonna stamp this about right here. And that's what that looks like. Isn't that pretty? If you're really creative and you have some of the markers or the blendables, you could go in and fill in each of those, and I may do that in a little bit, fill in each of those little flowers and make them solid, but I sort of like that little wispy look on them as well. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment, which was the congratulations, I believe, or I may do something else. This one says, thinking of you with all of my heart. Why don't we go with that one? And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right above the flowers. You can use another stamp color if you want. I'm going to use that one. And as far as accuracy is concerned, after you've done this a while, it just kind of sort of comes naturally. But if not, you look through the clear acrylic until you like where it's going to be placed, and then you stamp. Okay, so we're almost done. what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enhance this with a little piece of the ribbon. So this is something new that I haven't shown you before. Using our Stampin' seal, I'm going to just run right here towards the bottom. I'm just going to run a very short little strip of adhesive. I'm going to paste one end of my ribbon there and bring it around and kind of cut it off about there, and paste the other edge there. What that does is it saves ribbon. You don't have to run it all the way around, but you can just sort of put it sort of where it suits you, and then just use that little bit of adhesive on the back. Now, before I'm done with my bow, what I'm going to do is I am going to do a fauve bow right here. It looks like a bow, but really all you're doing is you are making a knot. Kind of pull it at a diagonal, pull it kind of tight, and then I'm going to snip off each edge using a nice little slanted slice. And look, isn't that beautiful? And that is the beauty of having at least one ream of the Whisper White. Now let's put all of this together, and then we have one more little step and we're done. I'm going to go ahead and, using my stamping seal, run it down, get the adhesive on here, and I'm going to eyeball this a little bit and get this place where all four sides are approximately exactly the same. And that's going to do it there. Okay, I think I'm going to add one more little special thing. This was a technique that somebody discovered several years ago when I was just starting my Stampin' Up! And it is such a beautiful effect. And that is to take a sponge and a little bit of the ink and just barely run it around the edges, all the way around. It's not adding a lot of color, but what it does is it adds some dimension. So you do that just around the edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this level on to make our third level. And I'm going to center this the way I did the other one. And it looks like it, oops, that looks like it right there. And that's a basic card for you. That took me about 10 minutes to do, but there is a basic card. Isn't that beautiful? Now, just to add a little bit of extra, these are the embellishments. We embellished with ribbon, and we embellished with some sequins with adheres on. Listen to me talk. Sequins with a little bit of adhesive on the back. And this is why I said pointy scissors is mercy. Pointy scissors are the best thing for this job, because you can just take them, you can just slide them right under, lift them out, and put them exactly where you want them. Now there you go. There is a perfect card for a beginner. It requires very little. It doesn't require any cutting or fussing, but it just is 3 layers of card. We used the Whisper White for the image. We did all the image on the same surface of the card. And how do you like that? Give me some comments below. This concludes our first workshop with our how-to for the very basic beginning stamper. Like I said before, I will be listing some of these supplies. The essentials are the adhesive and the scissors, the essentials. With those two things, you can put my make and takes together, is with the adhesives and the scissors. Then the next level of importance is going to be starting to look at your stamps and your color schemes and come up with something that, and you can mass produce several different cards and put them in a little shoebox, and you'll have them ready next time you need them without having to create anything right on the spot. So this is going to be something that I will probably give a friend next time I talk to her, and if she's having a bad day, I'm just going to stick that in the mail to her, and I think she'll appreciate it. So keep in mind that if you spend $30 or more, I will send you the make and takes. If you have your adhesive and your scissors, you're good to go. I will talk to you about whether you want to order a stamp set that will go with the make and takes. When you place your order, we can do that. And then I'll just send you the make and takes, and you can do all of the stamping yourself, which will really get you going. And also remember that under the hostess code, for everybody who orders through the month of July, I'm going to draw a name, and that person will receive some free product from me. Have a nice week, and I will see you next week for workshop number 2, which will be the extras, embellishments, ribbons, that kinds of thing. Bye-bye.